Hello, fellow quarantine people, or maybe I shouldn't date this vlog so much. This quarantine will be over at some point, so welcome all to this vlog about why I am fasting during this pandemic. And you would not be wrong to wonder why is she now talking about fasting when it sounded like last time during her last vlog that there wasn't any point in fasting. We need to change the way how we treat animals. Well, I agree with you. This is still what this is about, and bear with me. I'd like to share my heart here and my experience, my take. Okay, so you don't have to agree with me, take it or leave it, but if I can inspire you to pursue more love, then my job is done. I would call myself satisfied with the result. So why am I fasting during this pandemic? So my firstborn, when he was just about 3 months old, started to have really bad eczema. I was at the time in the care of a naturopath who had all explanations why this kid has eczema, but he was not able to heal him, and it was awful. It was awful. And the worst part was that I listened to his advice when he said it wouldn't make any difference if I started to cut out certain foods. That was really going against, what do you call that, housewife's wisdom. But I was also kind of glad and relieved that he told me there wouldn't be a point in fasting anything for the sake of the baby, because honestly, I didn't want to cut out dairy. I didn't want to cut out all sorts of foods. So that is something I regretted for the years to come. And so when I had my second son, who is now a half-year-old, he started to have eczema at 3 months as well. And guess what? I started about 3 months ago, I started to wonder, now this kid has eczema as well. I should make true on my promise to myself that should this baby also suffer from eczema, I will cut out all sorts of foods. And you know what? I was beating around the bush for a while, and then trying out all these lotions, nothing solved the issue. Eventually it came down to really deciding to fast dairy. And you could say, well, that's not really fasting, it's cutting it out for the sake of the baby. That's really, that's common sense, it's love. And I want to wager, I think that's the only purpose why we should fast at all, to grow in love. Man, have I heard weird things in the Christian world about why we fast. The weirdest is to say God needs you to fast. He somehow needs it. Honestly, I do not subscribe to that at all. I subscribe to the idea that whatever it is that we were told to do or not to do is for our benefit. Okay? I don't believe in a God that needs to be worshipped or that needs people to repent or any of that. We, if anything would be true, we need it. We would benefit from it. But you know what? There's no guarantee that fasting will help you grow in love. And the Bible addresses that too. Remember when Jesus said, don't do it begrudgingly in front of people to be seen, or to be seen by God even, so that God will change his mind. I feel like I want to add that, but it fits into the whole narrative that we need to do these spiritual things so that God can give us a heads up or whatever. We can get a shortcut to a solution from God. I think what happened to me, and this is experiential, when I started to really put my mind to cutting out dairy, and then I only didn't cut out dairy, but also eggs, and then also sugar, and then also carrots. All these things I had to try out until I was really able to pinpoint. Now I know exactly why my baby, who I am nursing, is getting sick from what I'm eating. Now I know exactly those triggers. That was a process. You know what I did the first few days and weeks when I started to fast for my son? I was like, oh yeah, I could be eating this dessert now, or drink my coffee with my wonderful raw milk I'm getting from a farmer here up the road, but I can't because I'm fasting for my son. And then slowly there was something, I mean, I could already hear myself doubting or questioning myself when I would say those things. It's if I don't see the purpose in doing this, if I can't embrace the fact that I'm doing this because I love my son and I don't want him to suffer needlessly, if there's a chance I can help him, if I can't embrace that, what the heck? So something shifted inside of me, and now it's been almost 3 months that I've been fasting all these foods and found a way around them. And as a nutrition coach and personal trainer, I do not recommend this to anyone except for the purpose of helping, a baby, or if you have any skin issues yourself, then you might want to look into these things. So there would be the purpose. So there can be a real physical outcome to your fasting things. But if you're talking about spiritual things, about growing closer to God, if you fast something and you don't see yourself in the process of growing in love, is it worth it? Is it doing anything but making you feel like, oh, I've done my part, right? Now the ball's in God's court. I do not think that this is how it's supposed to be. This is how things work. I'm afraid if we fast like that, we really put the ceiling on, I am obeying the law and I should get the reward. Well, that's exactly, Apostle Paul was saying, if you want to keep the law, well, then congratulations, but there's no more benefit to that. Now you have to keep the entire law. Good luck with that. When you were called to freedom and the pursuit of remaining in love. Oh man, how many times has Jesus talked about, by the love they will recognize you, by the love you have for each other, by the freedom, truth will set you free, not bind you up. So, without further ado, I want to bring this into the context of this pandemic. What should we be fasting right now? If fasting at all, I would say, who is really at stake right now? We're all at stake. Obviously, we're all fasting regular life. That's obvious. We're fasting social contact. It's a no-brainer if you ask me. That's common sense. But do you want to go a bit further and think about if there could be ways in which fasting could benefit you, both physically and spiritually? Again, I am a nutrition coach, so I am always aware that there is a whole lot of actions we do to our body that can also affect our spirit, our inner world, the unseen world. I'm not talking about weird stuff. I'm talking about the world that God created on the inside that nobody can see but ourselves. This could be the time to grow in love toward everybody around you, because you are trying to keep everybody safe, including yourself. But could you also grow in the way that you love your own body? That would be my question to you. What would be something good to fast these days? Well, if you want to boost your immune system, then fasting sugar is a very good idea. Now, I'm not going to put any laws on you. I'm just saying, if you want to give your immune system a boost, fast sugar. If you want to give your immune system a boost by adding something in that you might not do on a regular basis, I would say fruits, vegetables, kombucha. Those are wonderful things to add into your daily life out of self-love. So for me personally, when I started to exchange the pasta with vegetables, cooked vegetables, and then put the sauce on top, I jumped miles ahead into a healthier, freer future, just for the simple reason that as I ate less carbs, I craved sugar less. So less carbs eating means craving sugar less, and that is freedom. I tell you, that is freedom. But my experience, and this is just, again, my 2 cents. There's a lot that could be said right now about how you can boost your immune system these days, which I believe is a very good time to do so. But you got to start somewhere. So start with adding more fruits, more vegetables into your daily life, and good old kombucha if you can, if you want to. Give yourself a little heads up. It's not a miracle cure. I don't know that we right now have access to any miracle cures at all. I think the church is that are believing in gathering anyway, or these televangelists that are selling silver online that will cure your every ache, including this coronavirus. I think they are actually very much afraid for money. So that's why they have to gather. That's if people don't show up, they don't tithe, and that's the truth. And if we could just be honest about that, that's really at the core of the issue, then maybe we would find a bit more freedom. But hey, that's what I'm thinking. So to paraphrase, like I said, if you want to fast with the knowledge that it is supposed to help you grow in love, either to yourself, your physical health, or maybe fast something with the hope that you could love somebody else more, or that you would love God more, whatever, make it about you would grow in love. That is the purpose of fasting as I understand it as of right now. And I believe that is very, very good news, because God won't love you any inch less or more. He loves you already that much and much, much more. So we don't have to earn it. We don't have to do anything to keep it. We get to revel. Just like I'm sitting under the sun here, right? Under this palm tree in the sun. I get to revel under the fact that I have a Father in heaven who made me and loves me and has put a grain into this universe, and that grain is of truth and of grace and of love and everything that is supporting life, and I get to flow in that grain, and that is really for everybody's benefit. With all that, I would like to release you to your week. Have a wonderful time. Be blessed abundantly. I know I'm not trying to make light of anything. This is how I keep my eyes on Jesus. This is how I keep my eyes on hope, that I can focus on the things that I can do. And I can choose to do everything that we are called to do right now, we ought to do because of love. And then it's even much more to everybody's benefit if we could all grow in love. See you next time. Bye.